I'm back on Gertie Rude, back again in the Monday mood. Well, we've made it through to Monday VooTubers. We really have, you, me, and the rest of the known universe or whatever. Yes, and we're waiting for snow again, and we are in England. We're going to have 1/4 inch of snow. And of course, the whole of the country's going to go into an autumn VooTuber, as it is, you know. So anyway, I thought I'd bring you this because, well, it's been doing the rounds, hasn't it, VooTubers? It's funny how a lot of people on social media, you know, us horrible people on social media, have been saying this exact same thing, and amongst many other things that then turn out to come to pass to actually be true. We've been saying it for a long time. Harry and Meghan stole the Queen's nickname, Lilybet. And then they said, because they do a lot of backfilling like narcissists, they said, no, the Queen loved it. Yes, she thought it was really nice the way that they'd asked her if they could name their daughter after her. She presumed, like anybody would, she presumed that they meant Elizabeth, not Lilybet, which is their childhood name, isn't it? Lilybet. It's because poor little Margaret, when she was little, couldn't say Elizabeth. She could only manage Lilybet. So, yeah, and then it was stuck and it became her own family. Anybody that was close to her, or closer than close, called her Lilybet. So her cousins, relations and confidant, people around her, and her husband. So it was a nickname. Let's jump in and see what's being said, because it's the same old crud from these two bleeding grifters. Come on.
So your favourite person,
Not
Andrew.
these two. What's a shit show?
This is a bit of a revelation, isn't it? This is the royal correspondent from the Mail.
Apart from who would name their baby Lilybet anyway? Name it Lily or Betty or Elizabeth, and then maybe have that as a nickname. But to oh dear, my God. It's like, oh, well, yeah, my nickname's Skippy, so my grandchild would just call him Skippy. Just mental. Come on.
Look, Robert is so well plugged in. Robert Hardman, so well plugged.
Imagine any grandchild of mine having my nickname. Yes, he'd be down on the school register as Fat Arse. There we go.
He knows senior royals in a way that they wouldn't even look at me. Yeah, when I did the royal bit, I never had the access. He's got unrivaled access.
Well, you're annoying, Andrew Pearce, to be fair.
Harry and Meghan called their daughter Lilybet. That
Yes.
was her childhood name.
Yes.
Queen Elizabeth II. She couldn't pronounce her own name, Elizabeth, so Mum and Dad called
Yeah,
her
that's
Lilybet.
it.
Princess Margaret called her Lilybet.
Lilybet. It started by
It was a
Margaret.
name just for the chosen few.
Well, that's what I read.
Not only did they call her Lilybet, but Harry and Meghan told us the Queen had given her approval.
Yeah. Well, I remember that and knew it wasn't true at the time, because you have to be English and, yes, sort of au fait with the way these things roll. Knew it wasn't true at the time. I actually sort of realised that they probably said, because they give her a doom call, didn't they? And it is a doom bleeding call, isn't it, when those two ring you up on WhatsApp, isn't it, really? It is. It's the call of doom from the Monty Shit Show duo. Probably calling the old girl for money. And then they let it be known, one and all, mainly through Omid Scobie, probably Marcus Anderson, Meghan, let's say Meghan, that the Queen had given her approval of them using the name. But I still think that they said, oh, is it okay if we name her after you? And she's probably thought, well, yeah, Elizabeth's a nice name. So that's the state of play. And, of course, they couldn't help but torture the elderly folk, could they? No, they do. They like a bit of elder abuse. It's pretty much fact. It's not conjecture. It's not my opinion. It's pretty much fact that the Markles, yes, the Marklets, and elder abuse is kind of one and it's the same, and it's synonymous. And then any passing stage, or any stage they pass, they leap up there, grab the microphone, and talk to us about humanitarian. Yes, we've got to be nice and hashtag be kind. Yes, don't judge a book by its bleeding cover, and all BS stuff that she came out for in that podcast. Oh, yeah, you shouldn't call her a dragon lady. Oh, don't worry, love, we don't call you dragon lady. No, we call you much worse than that. Something like, what's the female dog called? One of them.
She hadn't. Legal threats were being bandied around by Harry and Meghan as per usual.
Oh, my God, these people.
Not so. Do we recall that expression? Recollections may vary.
Yeah.
Well, no, because that's another misnomer as well. It was Kate that said that. Obviously, while the Queen was alive, it was rumoured that the Queen had said recollections may vary. But actually, of course, Catherine being Catherine just didn't push herself forward. Like a certain hussy. But it was actually Kate when she was asked about what happened with the wedding dress and the flower scenario where that old Harrington made a little 3-year-old girl cry. The fact that the 3-year-old girl was a princess and second or third in line to the throne is neither here nor there. She's a 3-year-old girl. Do you get me? I don't think 3-year-old girls really understand. Oh, do you know what? You're second or third in line to the throne. You know, you're 3. It made her cry. And so when she was asked to give her account, Princess of Wales, the Catherine, said, well, recollections may vary. And then they quoted that, and the quote was attributed to the Queen, but it wasn't. It was actually the Princess of Wales, the now Princess of Wales. So let's go. And here's another thing as well. It's pretty much fact, like I've just said, that they abuse Mr. Markle, don't they? It's nothing, you can't put any other word on it but abuse. They abuse him. They don't fall short of thinking twice about abusing somebody in a wheelchair, do they? Really, they don't. And they abuse like 90-year-old non-generians, are they called? I know 80s octogenarian, so I suppose 90-year-olds are non-generians. I don't know what they are, but anyway, they liked abusing them. They abuse their own children, and this is my opinion, by keeping them away from their family and denying them their birthright. To me, is a form of abuse. That's my opinion. It is, and we can all see that that's pretty much fact. So, yes, we've all got to listen to the Marklets. Yes. They're Love's Young Dream. Yes, I did see that clip. I was on Netflix looking at something different, and I saw the clip of Harry saying, our love story, it's only just begun. This is just the beginning of it. I felt like vomiting. So here we go, come on.
Oh, well, that's
enough, Gert. Be quiet now, dear.
Because when you're so public and
right.
your identity
or pubic
on the global stage, you're one of the most recognised people in the world. You have very little that you can claim as your own, I imagine, from an identity point of view. And for her, it was this nickname of Lilybet. And as you say, I think her parents, her grandparents...
Yeah, Philip always used to call her Lilybet. So I think Betty as well sometimes. And also her cousins and other members of the royal family around the world. It was a signal of how near they were to the Queen. Sorry, my grandson's just come in. Hang on, darling, I'll be with you. 2 seconds. Gert is in full throw at the moment, my darling. Yes, give me 1 more second. It was a thing of how close you were, that most of the royalty are related to each other. So it may mainly be European royalty that are related to her, and also the Spanish royalty would call her Lilybet. Yes, she was Aunt Lilybet to the King of Spain, for instance, off the top of my head. Do you get me, Capiche?
Her sister, that's right, Princess Margaret, and
one or two
other people were allowed to call her Lilybet. Otherwise, it would have been... I mean, this is a woman who her grandchildren would genuflect to her when they walk in the room. Her grandchildren would curtsy. And then to the idea that these two took that name and they stole...
You know where she went wrong? I've just occurred to me, Vootube. It's just occurred to your old Bertie Gertie. Yes, it has. It's just occurred to me. You know where the Queen went wrong, don't you, dear YouTube? You do. When the Marklet walks into a room, she really expected the Queen to genuflect to her, my dear. Yes, she did, because she's a self-made woman of means, or something or other. In other words, a yacht girl. Go on.
From her, put it in the public eye, and also she couldn't say anything. She couldn't say, I don't want you to use that name, because that would come...
I don't think it come like that. I think they asked if they could name the baby after her, and she assumed, and they knew what they were doing, let's put it that way. That's narcissist for you. That is narcissist for you. So that poor little ginger-haired girl, if it exists, or Dolly, or whatever it is, the inflatable, that they never seem to blow up. And what is that? Here's another thing, Vootube Foos. Because again, honestly, I don't lie. I haven't watched Netflix, but I have seen snippets of it on other people's, usually parody channels that take the piss. Of why was he pushing an empty pram around? What is he mental? Do you know what I mean? Was that for the Marklet to sit in case she needed, a carriage or something? They're like, oh, look at us. Look at us in Monty Shit Show. There's a little boy in the distance, probably the garden's grandson or something like that. And yes, look at us. We're such a family. I'm pushing an empty pram up and down. Really? Oh dear, there's no flies on us, is there? Either they're stupid or they think we're stupid. Either.
The book says that Palace Aid had never seen the late Queen so angry.
Well, it's probably thought they took the
Never seen her as angry as
piss.
she was. But it wasn't necessarily when she knew that the daughter was called Lilybet, but it was when the Sussexes said that the Queen had given
Yes.
the name her blessing.
Yes,
That
yeah.
was what incensed her.
And they said, if anybody suggests otherwise...
Because if anything, I heard they stymied her at the time. I heard they sort of threw it at her a bit, and she was a bit bowled over. And another word, reading between the lines, I would have assumed that what was said is, oh, we'd like to name her after you, you know, doing the arse licking, you know, do you know what I mean? Like they are, oh, Granny, we'd like to name our new baby after you now. And she's probably she come off the phone and thought, shit, do you get me? But she didn't realise that they actually meant her personal name, because if you think of it, neither Harry or Meghan would have called the Queen Lilybet. They would have called her Granny, wouldn't they? Or Queen. Let's have it right, they would have done.
For defamation. You know what? They never did sue for defamation.
No.
Legal letters were...
Of course they won't.
I'm sorry, it shows that Meghan and Harry don't tell it straight.
Of course
Yeah.
they don't.
Well, I think
Oh, don't. You're not spreading disinformation, are you? Yeah. You can't have that. Spreading misinformation about the Marklets. Oh, I'll be beggared. Anyway, I've had enough of this. I'm sure you've had enough of me. So I'm going to run along, well, sort of wobble off, and see what my grandson... I think he needs feeding and watering. Yes, copiously, my dears. Just got in from school. Love you and leave you. Have a fantastic evening, morning, afternoon, or whatever it is I've left out. What is it? Night. Yes. Bye-bye now.